Hey everybody, today we are going to be playing the Graveyard Gifts, a free starter deck on MTG Arena that everybody has in their collection. You just go to Starter Deck Duel as the event, and then you can go ahead and play any of these 10 two-color decks. And let's take a look at this one in particular. So this deck is all about getting value out of the graveyard, putting creatures into the graveyard, having the possibility of bringing creatures back out of the graveyard, and building up value that way. We'll start from left to right, from the smallest cards to the largest, most impactful cards, and we'll talk about a small card that we call a cantrip called Opt. This is 1 mana for an instant scry 1. So you look at the top card of your library, you can put it on the top or the bottom, and then draw a card. So it just replaces itself with a little bit of selection. Stab is a 1 mana instant to give target creature -2/2 till end of the turn. This becomes important with this Inspiration from Beyond when we get there. Having a quick, fast, efficient removal spell is really important. Brineborn Cutthroat is a 2 mana 2/1 with flash, and whenever you cast the spell on your opponent's turn, put a +1/+1 counter on it. Both Opt and Stab that we've talked about so far are instant speed cards, and so when you play them on your opponent's turn, this card will get +1/+1 counters. We do have a counter spell, which is 1 and a blue for counter target creature spell. And we have a barrier. This is 2 mana for an 0/4 defender, and when it dies, you get a treasure token. A treasure token will add 1 mana of any color, but one time. You do sacrifice it in order to play it. Inspiration from Beyond, as I've mentioned before, this is 3 mana, mill 3 cards, so put 3 cards into your graveyard, and you can return an instant or sorcery card from your graveyard to your hand. Great for getting Stab back and then using Stab again, and it has flashback itself of 7 mana. Usually using it on the front half a lot more mana efficient than the second half, but the second half can certainly help you when you're milling a lot of cards and it's the later part of the game. Kiora's a 3 mana 3/2 that when it enters you draw 2 cards and discard 2 cards. When you attack, if you have threshold is 7 or more cards in your graveyard, you get an 8/8 legendary octopus token. Crow of Dark Tidings, this is a 3 mana 2/1 flyer. When it enters or dies, you mill 2 cards. Just an easy way of getting cards into your graveyard. Abyssal Harvester, this is 3 mana with double black, so there's 1 black for a 3/2, and you can tap it to exile target creature from your graveyard that was put there only this turn. Create a token of it, except that it's a nightmare, and then you exile all other nightmare tokens that you control. So you can only have 1 of these tokens at a given time. Dreadwind Scavenger, this is a great card from Foundations. 3 mana for a 2/2 flyer. When it enters or attacks, you draw a card and then discard a card. If you have 7 cards in your graveyard, it gets +1/+1 and Death Touch. So it becomes a 3/3 flying Death Touch for 3. Billowing Shriekmass, this is a 2/3 for 4 mana. When it enters, you mill 3 cards right away, and then if you have 7 cards in your graveyard, so you needed 4 before, and this will mill 3, right? It gets +2/+1, so this becomes a 4/4 flyer for 4. Zombify is 4 mana to return target creature card from your graveyard straight to the battlefield, and so if it has a cast effect, you won't get it, but if it has an enter the battlefield effect, you will. So keep that in mind there with Zombify. Baked into the Pie, just a premium removal spell, 4 mana, but destroy target creature and make a food token. So now we get the big hitters in this last column here. The first one, Arcanist, the Omnipotent. This is a 6 mana 3/4 with 2 abilities. The first one is all that you need to read. Tap to draw 3 cards, and then it also has the ability 2 blue to return it to its owner's hands in case it's getting killed and you want to put it back in your hands so that you can continue the value train. Once this is out on the battlefield, the game tends to end very quickly in your favor. Arbiter of Woe is a 6 mana 5/4 flying that you do need to sacrifice a creature when you cast this spell as an additional cost. When it enters, your opponent discards a card and loses 2 life. You draw a card and gain 2 life. And the last card is the biggest one. This is 9 mana, and if you are new to Magic while we are playing, just keep in mind of how much mana 9 mana really is. This is much harder to cast than something that costs 6 or 7. You do have some of the treasure tokens from Barrier to try and get ahead there a little bit, but this is very hard to cast. But when you do, it ends the games. It puts creature cards from all graveyards, not just yours, but your opponent's also, onto the battlefield under your control. Usually your opponent will die the next turn when you attack with all previous creatures. So that's the deck breakdown. It has 7 tapped lands. The Guild Gates have no synergy, just tapped, but it goes ahead and taps for either color. The Backwater does gain you a life when it plays, and then the Temple gives you a free scry when you play it, but this is 9 tap lands in the deck, so please keep that in mind. 24 lands overall, 9 of them come in tapped, so even something like Rise of the Dark Realm, when you have 8 lands and you draw your 9th land but it comes in tapped, it's going to be a whole nother turn until you play that. So this is kind of the aspirational card of the deck. Doesn't always get there. You usually win or lose without this card being played, but we will see if we can go ahead and make it work. We will be playing Graveyard deck and jump right in. Let's see how this deck performs in real world situations. I did make a video with a tier list of the decks that I think are the best for beginners to play. I don't think if you are brand new to Magic, this is the top deck for you, just starting out completely, right? Like a hand like this makes it very hard to play. There's not a proactive game plan here. We will go ahead and keep it. We will play a tap land first, and then we will hope to have Essence Scatter and Stab both up on turn 2. We'll go ahead and take that life. This is a really great value-oriented deck. So if you like decks that are a little bit more mid-range, if you like decks that play around with the graveyard, you will enjoy this type of deck. One of the best parts of it are having the instant speed spells. So we have Essence Scatter up for a creature if they were to play it on turn 2, and if they don't play it, we're not going to waste the value of our turn. We will play Opt at the end of their turn and draw a card. So let's see what they do here. This is an all aggro deck, and so we're looking at power specifically. Gourmand is a really good card if they have sacrifice fodder. We will go ahead and take care of it right away. And still nothing proactive on our side. We have a Stab and we have an Opt, looking to play possibly both of them on our opponent's turn, and we will go ahead and do that now. Opt kill the creature, Stab kill the creature, and Opt find something of value here. We will go ahead and play Shriekmask. This will end up being 6 cards in a graveyard, so not quite the threshold, but we might be there next turn. We also have Zombify, so if we have a big creature in the graveyard, that will be helpful for us. Right now, we could play something like Arbiter of Woe from the graveyard, which would be really strong against this aggro deck. We could kill Alesha here. Our opponent has cards in the graveyard that if Alesha attacks, they are going to be able to they're going to be able to bring back. So we will start with an attack here. And I think we'll wait one turn on the Zombify. I think we will just get rid of the Alesha. We are the value deck. They are the aggro deck. We're at 21 life. We don't want to get outvalued. And I doubt that we are going to get out aggroed. Attacks, you can sacrifice and put +1. Okay. We will offer a trade. I assume our opponent will not take it. They do. Okay, we will Zombify to get out Arbiter. Make our opponent discard a card. He did just draw that extra card, so good to have a discard here. Perforating Artist, a great card, but not quite enough in this situation. We have another Zombify where we could get a Scavenger and have a Death Touch for the artist. I wish we could get Arcanus into the graveyard. They do only have one card left. Arcanus in the graveyard would be really great. We could cast it. We could hard cast it and hope that they don't have a removal spell. Either way, we are going to attack. Oh, I'm sorry, this is a food token, not a treasure token. So that plan is not available. Why don't we get back Dreadwing Scavenger? Get a 3/3 flyer with Death Touch. Or is it just Shriek Mass? Yeah, 4/4 flyer I guess is better. We'll go ahead and put 3 cards in the graveyard. If you are looking at Rise of the Dark Realm, we are at 5 mana. This is 9, and we do not have any way to get there. So when this perforating artist trigger happens, we are going to discard and get rid of this card. Not something that we are going to be able to be playing. I think this game is over here. They're going to play Gourmand. Like, this is fine. This is all good. Yep. We'll play the Crow. We'll have Stab up. And this is good. We will stab this artist. Yeah, and he knew that game was over. So 1 for us. We'll jump right in there. Again, for Rise of the Dark Realm, please note that that was 5 lands in play for this graveyard deck. Nowhere near the 9 that we were going to need. That card individually may be the most powerful card in all 10 starter duel decks. It might just be the absolute most powerful card, most powerful thing that you can do, except you can't really do it, right? Like, it just doesn't come up often enough for you to have any kind of plan to be doing it. Not a great keep here. Not quite enough going on. Black-red. Black-red aggro makes me want to have Stab up just in case. I certainly want to have it up on turn 3, but yep, Gourmand is good enough to get rid of now. Play a tap land since I can't do anything here. It will be Scavenger next turn and Shriek Mass the turn after. That is a pretty good one for my opponent. Draw and discard here. Barrier is not particularly helpful, but we do have Zombify, so we are going to get rid of the Abattoir of Woe. Depending on what my opponent plays, if he shows anything, we will consider blocking. He does not, and he will attack with the 4-2. Okay. That makes sense. We could Zombify the Arbiter, have him lose a card, have us gain a card. It's a lot of value, and then we end up with a 5-4. Still can't block, but we're not going to have too much blocking anyway. So, yep, let's grab it now. Get the value where we can. He goes down a card, we go up a card. He gets rid of Massacre Worm. Not particularly inclined to block here with Baked in a Pie. We can attack. This is locked down, so he's not going to untap this turn. Although if I do kill this Borders, he will attack the next turn. That's okay. The current plan is to Bake in a Pie the Borders. Let's see if our opponent makes us choose something different. These are nice sleeves. So we will go ahead and Bake in a Pie, see what he has as a follow-up. If it is something like Perforating Artist, not great, but we would just dump a barrier. Yep. We will take this Scry. I think Scavengers are going to be really good in this matchup. We'll take the first one, put the second one in our hand. We will get rid of a barrier. And are we attacking? Yes, we are. If our opponent does not have a removal spell, he will probably only attack with the 4-2. He does not know about the second Scavenger. Yep. And he will go ahead. Yep, that's draw a card. We will lose 3 life here. An untapped land gives us Kiora and Scavenger. And we do have the win next turn if we do not face a removal spell. You know, Stab is also interesting. Maybe Stab is better. Stab and gain 3 life. He needs to kill this. And he can only kill this one. Okay. He does that. He has 3 mana. He needs to kill Arbiter. Yeah, and he doesn't have it. Okay. That is 2-0 against the aggro deck. The aggro of starter duel deck, right? Something like Massacre Worm is not something that I specifically think of when I think of aggro decks, but that is the tools that the deck has right now in the starter duel deck event. And we'll jump into the next one and see what we got. All tap lands. That's going to be really important to know, really important to consider, right? Gleaming Barrier is not coming out till 3. Stab is going to be turn 2. It is a keep, but it is a sketchy keep for sure. If this is out to a fast start, this could be something that could be rough. Neither one let Stab be available. If this is a Johnny's Pride Maid, this would be unfortunate. Yep. This is where you would want to stab the Pride Maid to stop it from getting out of control. It'll already be bigger than Barrier, so we play the tap. Land, and we're going to look to get rid of the Sanctifier. We'll do it now so that we can save ourselves a trigger. Is he going to do like +2/+2? Okay. Huge hit here. Nothing in the graveyard for Zombify. We could get a Kiora, and he just doesn't attack there. He attacks with the bigger guy. Let's go Gleaming Barrier. Give ourselves a chance. We will definitely block. Get a token. We'll have 5 mana next turn. Yep. A bake in a pie, and all of a sudden this hand does not seem unreasonable. Without it, we are in some trouble. What do we do here? We can get back Stab. That's not going to be helpful. We could play Shriek Mass and see what we can get in the graveyard for the following turn. Okay, just now he only has an attack with the Pride Mate. A second Pride Mate is going to make this more difficult. Yep, another set of triggers. Now just one baked in a cake does not do it. Okay, let's see. Dreadwing Scavenger does not have Death Touch yet. We could zombify a barrier. So I think the answer is just nothing, right? I think the answer is just we're dead. So Scavenger. And an inspiration to give Scavenger Death Touch. Okay. No mana to play Stab. We would block the big guy. We would chump block the smaller one because it will also be lethal, but we are not winning. Yeah, it's fine. Okay, 2 and 1, just overwhelmed on the Pride Mate. I wonder how that game would have went if we could have stabbed on turn 1 when our opponent played the Pride Mate. On our opponent's turn 2, I guess it was. But while we only had a tapped land. This is going to be game 4. We are 2 and 1. And let's see what our opponent has. Opponent taking some time with some decisions, ultimately decides to keep. We will also be keeping. Let's see what we have. Okay, this is a tap turn 1 and Cutthroat on turn 2. Our opponent's turn 2, hopefully. Maybe we have a chance to make a block that our opponent was not suspecting. No other instant speed spells, and so this is going to be a 2-1 for quite a while. Okay, 1-3 is not what we were looking for there. Maybe this is a Pride Mate, but he wanted to have this out so that it could grow. Yep, and we will Essence Scatter that right away. He will go ahead and attack for 2. If he has another one, we'll be able to play Harvester, and if he has another Pride Mate, he will play it, but he knows he'll only get 1 trigger out of it. We do need to keep drawing lands. If we keep drawing lands, we should be okay. If we stop here at 3, we're going to be in some trouble. So we need to keep drawing and get to at least 4. So if there's a land on the top there, we should be in fine shape. Cat Collector. Okay. We'll get a 1-1 if he attacks, but he will have to trade off his land. Tapped, right? So this is what I talked about early in the video. Just keep that in mind. And we will pass back. Opponent now has a chance to play something like Pride Mate and crack the food. He would get the 1-1 and a +1/+1 for a Pride Mate. Gets the 1-1. We'll play Cutthroat. And block. Don't want to lose the Harvester. Okay. He doesn't want to lose his Cat Collector. What's the chance he has the +2/+2? It's a chance I'm not willing to take. Okay. We could get a counter on it by baking into the pie later on. Or we could play Shriek Moss and get some cards going for the graveyard. See if we can upgrade. I think that's worth it. No need to upgrade just because you could. If you have a better card as a Nightmare, then we'll just keep that there. we are not going to be attacking. We are not going to be blocking with this harvester in case, you know what? If he has that +2/+2, he would still have it. So likely does not have it, but I am not willing to make this. I'm not willing to make this the spot where I win or lose. We would double block to try and get rid of this. See, he didn't attack when he didn't have the white up, but he attacked when he didn't. Here it's scavenger, dump the arbiter, and then make an arbiter. That's a lot of value. Here we attack. We don't mind if we lose this. Yep. Yep. Fine. We will grab the arbiter. We will have to discard a card. We will draw a card. We will have cutthroat for our opponent's turn. But I don't think there will be too much attacking. I think he's considering what card to discard. Okay, we now have cutthroat or stab on our opponent's turn, so really good versatile options. Not much in the graveyard right now for Zombify, but if any of these were to die, we would have something good. Okay. Is this to get Pride Mate? To start trying to get it to grow? Yep. Let's see what our opponent decides to do on attacks. Yep. We will stab the Pride Mate. He will get a cat for Cat Collector. And then he will just run into the Arbiter. Okay. Good card to put cards in the graveyard. If we're just looking to get stab back, we could do that. 3. Yeah. We would have the same thing, stab or cutthroat open. Yeah, right? And then, well, we're not going to upgrade from Nightmare. Let's see if he'll trade. We got the stab back without spending the mana, which I really like. What do we have in the graveyard right now? Not much, right? Does he block? If not, we can pass the turn. We have 2 removal spells open. Yep. This isn't really a racing situation. He does have enough ways to gain life that the race would probably tilt in his favor, but it's more of a value situation. Fiendish Panda. Yep. Yep. We will look to stab the panda before it gets any bigger. Lifelink. Okay. Attacking doesn't seem right. All that for the token. Okay, not what I would have done, but fine. And passing back, so we will play the Cutthroat. Okay, we will attack. This is 9 in the air. He has life gain, but 9 in the air is a huge chunk. Okay, he decides to chump block. Okay. I just don't feel like I really have to do anything right now. Zombify is not going to get me. I mean, it's going to get me a Dreadwing Scavenger as a 3/3 Death Touch. Baked in the Pie will give me a counter, kill something that's important. He just has 2 cards in hand. Yeah, I just don't really need to do much. If he has nothing, he cracks the food. And yeah, okay. Protection from instants is huge. That means Baked in the Pie is not going to be able to deal with this. That one card, the one white, right? Is this +2/+2? Let's find out. He's gonna want to use it. If he has it? No? Okay. This is a food token, not a treasure token, so we'll go ahead and use it now. And the opponent concedes. Maybe a little bit early. We are going to keep a blocker back. We were going to attack in the air and then keep 1 to 2 blockers back to see what he had. It wasn't a +2/+2, otherwise he wouldn't have conceded there, because a 6/6 with protection from instants and lifelink would have been pretty good. So that is 3-1 in 4 games. We are 2-0 against aggro and 1-1 against the lifelink deck. Let's see what game 5 brings us. Slow hand. Slow hand. Not happy. Yep, and Healer's Hawk is going to do a lot of business before we can take care of it. If this is an early Pride Mate, this may be over before it is started. Okay, Sunblessed Healer. Also a lot of value there. Not a Pride Mate because you played the land first. Play the Crow and see what happens. It is immediately killed. That will be quite a few cards going into the graveyard. Okay. Scavenger. We will take 4 here though. So we're going to need a blocker, hopefully to kind of detract him from attacking. We could get a Crow, which puts 2 more. But I think it's Scavenger here, right? As much as I want Arcanus, I really want to get rid of Arbiter. No Death Touch here. Okay, that was going to happen to either one. We are falling way behind. We can kill one of them. but not do too much else. Well, we kill it now before it comes onto the battlefield. Blocker on the ground. And they got it. 1 and 2 against the life gain deck. And play another one. We knew that that was a slower hand. If we were to expect so many life gain decks, I guess life gain is pretty popular in starter duel deck, so we probably would have known not to have kept that hand, but I certainly wanted to keep it to see how it goes. This is a hand that seems so much more poised to do well against faster decks, although against the life gain deck it still struggles without a removal spell. If one of these were a stab, it would do better, but we will certainly be looking to see if we can find one with Opt against another fast deck here. Usually I would take Opt into an Opt, but I'd like to see if I could find a stab, which I did. We are going to play Barrier first. If this was white-black, we would... Actually, you don't need to hold up stab, right? Because they play Pridemate on 2. They're not going to be able to get it to start growing until turn 3. So probably Barrier either way. Here it is Scavenger and get things started. If you draw an untapped land, we would ditch a tapped land. But if not, we will get rid of one of these barriers. Not hugely impactful. Okay, good stab target for sure. Although also a good cutthroat target. We will attack first and see what we have left. Get rid of that. We'll see if Cutthroat comes out. It could be something like Cutthroat and then Stab to get the first counter on Cutthroat. While we do have another Opt. A Braid. Okay. So that means Perforating Artist would not be here. Now, do we use this? I think we do, right? We stab to use all of our mana. If we draw an untapped land, we will have... If we draw a tapped land, so we are now having a 4/4 flyer and put 3 more cards into the graveyard. Gain a life and see what our opponent has. Zombify would be great. Four, 2 makes sense. Is this one of the 3 mana, the big spells? No, it's a removal spell. Okay, not what we wanted to see there. I think we draw our card first. In case it's a Zombify, I think we want to see what it is. Okay. Then we just go ahead and play another 4/4. Here we are going to take it this turn. Specifically because we want a card to... we need a creature to sacrifice if we draw an untapped land. Again, we're asking for another untapped land, so this is not likely, but possible. And we do draw it, so good for that. This will make him discard a card, and also we will draw a card. He's locked into playing this 4-mana spell next turn. And now we have the Harvester. Okay. Harvester does not have haste, so it has to be out there and be ready to attack. What do we want to do here? I guess we don't attack. Yep. It's going to give something menace. Okay. So if we block, he's going to get to choose who dies. I don't love that idea. Let's block this way. Okay. And he basically draws a card again when this comes back. Zombify. Okay. I mean, my first thought is Zombify on Arcanus, right? He's going to attack. Do we have enough time to do that? And if we don't, what else are we going to do? So the 3/4 doesn't block anything. If he attacks with everything, it can block here. We block. And this is a treasure. So it's both, right? It's this and Zombify. Yeah, I think so. Oh, do we know what is coming? It's another... That's another 4/2. Okay. So if he attacks with only one thing, it has menace, and we double block. If he attacks with... Okay. Okay. So Arcanus can block there. We double block here. He kills both. So we don't want to do that. Block here. He conceded to us being able to draw 3 cards next turn. I think that's premature. I would not have conceded there. It is draw 3 cards. We would have Harvester untapped, but the draw 3 cards doesn't specifically get anything into the graveyard, right? So I think that's a little bit premature. Not sure if our opponent, it's Arena, so anything could happen, right? Opponent might have just had to leave anyway. So we will not look a gift horse in the mouth, and we will keep this 7. We have some early interactions, and then we have some late game big hitters. We do need some stuff to put cards in the graveyard, but we'll get there. Untapped Swamp with Stab just makes me feel much more protected. Barrier will help us ramp eventually. Probably not the Dark Tides, right? But or Dark Realm. But maybe to Arcanus after his removal spells are out. Opponent did mulligan. I'm not super worried about... You know what? I'm not super worried about any 2-drops that our opponent could have, but I do want to play Gleaming Barrier next turn, and so I don't think this will be open for stab on turn 2 either. So let's see what our opponent has. If this is just Helpful Hunter, then I did waste some time. If it's a Llanowar Elf, then I would have been correct. But we will see. He's off to a slow start. Eventually we do have a big game later on, so I'm not overly worried about a slow start. All tap lands for my opponent. But on a mulligan to 6, I understand. That 3-1 is not a priority for me. This looks like it's going to be a Guild Gate and a barrier. Yep, if he wants to use a removal spell or a pump spell on the 3-1, you're more than welcome to. Next turn, we will probably pass the turn with Stab and Opt, both available. What is he looking to do? Okay, that is a thing. We do have to find a removal spell for that. Not sure why my opponent did not attack. We have to find a removal spell very quickly here. Creatures you control get +1/+1. Yep. I'm gonna get rid of this 3-1 in hopes that it maybe scares my opponent a little bit, and my opponent thinks he'll have a better chance next turn. This doesn't speed the clock up. The clock's already fast. The clock's 3 turns, right? So I'll have 2 draws. I think we do this. We're milling 3. We're hoping to find a bacon and pie. I think we have to take Opt here because we have to find the bacon and pie. Otherwise, this is not going to work. Yep, Angelic Destiny. It is such a bad card, but it is going to win the game here. Do we care about Crow of Dark Tidings? It doesn't have Trample. Right, so this turn we can Crow. I guess. If he obviously has a removal spell, none of this works. If he just plays a creature, we can counter it. We can zombify the crow next turn. I have a couple of looks to find something, but doesn't look promising. We're locked into Crow here. Oh no, I guess not. We can get Arbiter. Arbiter will make him discard a card. We will get a card. Okay? Wait a minute. First strike. So even Death Touch is not going to be a thing. Okay, Art's Arbiter then to draw the card. Okay. The land, we do play Inspiration from Beyond here. We need to find the removal spell. This is mill 3, so we have a decent chance there. Or we do not find it. We take a Zombify. Take a Zombify back for next turn. Opponent has any removal spell or anything like that. This is all for nothing, but this is the best chance to win. When this dies, this will go back to the owner's hands. Yeah, +2/+2, but not trample. Okay, so the Zombify we know gets another Arbiter. We make him discard his last card, we draw a card. It's Stab. Okay. We could shrink this down, but it doesn't do anything for us. We have another flyer for next turn. Okay. This does nothing for him. Yep. Chaining a couple. Oh, I guess we should have... Yeah, here we go. We should have used Essence Scatter at some point. Now, we could take this. Is that going to help us at all? We Zombify another Arbiter. We take this down and we kill it. We've already been dead to any removal spell for so long that I am not worried about this at all. We grab another Arbiter. He kills one of us on first strike and we kill it. We killed this thing. But he just destinies someone else, right? We shrink it so it can't kill both on first strike. And our opponent concedes a very well fought victory. Our opponent conceded too early there also. Angelic Destiny goes back into his hand. He plays it on a cat. And then we have to continue to keep chaining flyers. If he plays it on the cat right now, it gets out of stab range. So we are looking for Baked in the Pie, and we are starting the situation all over again, but a good win there. I am certainly happy about that. So let's take a look at this deck and wrap things up here. We did play 7 games. We went 5-2. Well, there were 2 concessions from my opponents that may have been a little premature. The deck is certainly a lot of fun. It does have really strong, powerful strategies like zombifying these big creatures. Rise of the Dark Realm never came up in our hand. And also, we'll have to go back and look and see exactly how much mana I had in that last game. Not sure if I ever got to the 9 mana mark in order to even consider playing it. So, super powerful card, but definitely aspirational, not something you'll be playing all the time. The real power of the deck are right here in the flyers: Scavenger, Shrigmoss, and Arbiter of Woe. And you do have Abyssal Harvester, only 1 copy of because it's the rare. When you do have it, you can do a lot of fun things and double the value on all of your cards. So it is basically a blue-black flyers deck with the ability to draw some cards with some of the rares that it has, but not anything crazy. Again, my rating is unchanged. Really fun deck, fun value deck, maybe an intermediate deck, not for brand new beginners to Magic when you're starting, coming off of the tutorial and the color challenges. Probably not the deck you want to start with, but eventually when you get into that intermediate comfortability, you would go ahead and give this deck a try because it is a lot of fun and a lot of value. If you like content like this, please give us a thumbs up. Make a comment below telling us what you think about this deck, and a subscription would be amazing. If you hit the subscribe button, that's definitely telling us that we're doing something right. If you want to support the channel, all small channels have to be supported some way. I do have an Amazon affiliate link down below. If you click it, it's no cost to you, but we do get a couple of percentages back to help support us as we grow. Until next time, I will talk to you soon and have a wonderful day. Thanks, everybody.